Hey Jared, Bradley here, Green Acres Landscaping. I came and took my sample for the soil analysis and I wanted to share some of my thoughts. So first things first, front yard looks pretty good. I do see some signs of what's called brown patch, which is a mold that affected a lot of homes this year, where we had that month of straight rain and then a month of 100-degree weather. A lot of lawns did suffer from brown patch, so I am seeing a little bit of signs of that, but at this point we're all past that. Nothing we need to do for that. Front yard grass here will always be a little bit on the delicate side, simply because of these oak trees right here, beautiful trees. Issue is, number one is shade. As you can see, tall fescue, it's very picky. Too much shade can be a problem, too much sun can be a problem. Right here we're dealing with too much shade. In addition to that, the grass has to compete with these trees for water and nutrients, so that's always going to make it a challenge as well. So something really important we have to do here is be mindful of our mowing practices and keep a close eye on the health of the turf. What you see most often is your turf is dealing with heat stress, and as it starts to yellow, you can feel it be kind of crunchy. Heat stress, clear sign is when you step on it, and if the grass is healthy and happy, it'll spring right back up. But with heat stress, it'll stay folded over. So that's something to be very mindful of. Because of the shade, grass here is always going to be a little sensitive, a little delicate. So you have to make sure, especially during a heat stress or other additional stresses, to be very mindful with your mowing. The next thing I see is we're dealing with a lot of clay here, which is pretty normal. But a lot of clay is going to lead to two things. Number one is compaction. There's not a lot of air pockets in clay, and these grass roots really need those air pockets to have spaces to fill in with roots. So that can be solved with just with aeration, which is a part of our turf program, which we can do for you, no problem. And the second thing it's going to lead to is the pH of your turf not being ideal, or not the pH of your turf, the pH of the soil. And that's kind of what I'm seeing back here. We're likely dealing with a more acidic soil. I took the sample, so we're going to get confirmation of that just a couple days. Turnaround is pretty quick on that sample. So yeah, if soil analysis says acidic, then I will give you a price for the amendment that we need to make to get this in the right pH to give your grass the best chance. Back here, by the way, the landscaping is beautiful. I really like this landscaping back here. You have a nice little oasis in the backyard, so that's nice. And the grass is mostly good, but lots of weeds. I'm seeing signs of brown patch in the past from earlier this summer. Grass looks a little bit on the thin side, but that's likely just to the pH. And last thing, looks like we have a puppy. That's another challenge for the health of your lawn, is having a puppy. You know, I always joke that you can have a nice lawn, you can have a nice puppy, but you can't have both. Dogs, reason why is, one is compaction. What we see most often is dogs have they pick their own little alley that they like to run around in all the time. That leads to a lot of compaction. And then also just pet waste is pretty hot and can damage those spots. But we can do the treatments and see if we can get your turf a little more resilient and a little bit tougher against stresses. And yeah, we can get you some some results. So those are my initial thoughts. We're going to figure out if we are dealing with the pH issue very soon. What I'm seeing from brown patch, the mold, that's already in the past. We're not going to deal with that for the rest of the year. And then would be these trees. I don't think you're going to want to cut them down. I mean, they're beautiful trees. They're really nice. It'd be a shame to cut them down. But an option you do have would be some selective pruning. That's called crown thinning or filtering. And that's where we get a tree specialist out here just to prune selective branches to get a little more sunlight shining through onto the turf. That could help. If we don't do that, this side of the turf is always going to be sensitive and delicate to stresses. So yeah, that's what I recommend. So once I get that soil analysis back, I'll let you know what we got to do moving forward. Thank you.